Linear functions are an important concept you'll need for the Praxis Core Math exam. This quick video will provide explanations to help you study. First, let me provide some good news. The only functions found on the Praxis exam are linear. This means on an x and y graph, we have a straight line. There are no curved lines called parabolas, imaginary numbers, or calculus problems found on this exam. More good news, inequalities are not complicated either. While some college classes utilize the complexity of inequalities, the Praxis does not. Here's an inequality you might find on the exam. The inequality functions the exact same as an equation that has an equal sign. Remember, one key difference maybe is as you're solving for x, if you have to divide by a negative number, you must flip the sign. In this inequality, if we at one point have to divide by a -3, instead of this opening facing the left, it would face the right in the final answer. Other than this one exception, the steps remain the exact same as an equation. Now, let's break down a linear equation. The basis of a linear equation is y equals mx plus b. Let's break down each of these variables. The variables are going to tell us where this straight line is located and where it's going. The x and y are going to remain variables. They act as placeholders and represent infinity because the line we are going to create will continue forever. Basically, we could plug in any number into x or y and find where the line touches that point. M stands for slope. The slope indicates how steep the line may be. This can be calculated with rise divided by run. What does this mean? Let's start at 0, 0. Rise tells us how many we should go up or down. Let's say I go +4 coordinates up. So I'd put a dot there. Run tells us how many we should go left or right. Let's say I go left 3 coordinates. 1, 2, 3. Here, we can see the slope of the line starting to form, and we can repeat the process of rise over run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and continue this line forever. Finally, we have B, which stands for y-intercept. This simply means the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Because the line is infinite in both directions, it has to cross the y-axis eventually. It tells us where the line is located. The coordinates change depending on if the y-intercept is at -6 or +8. The line we started to draw here has a y-intercept of 0 because that is where the green line crosses through the y-axis. The y-intercept is the easiest thing to look for on the exam and takes less time to solve than the slope, so I recommend starting there. Let's look at another form of linear functions, a table. Instead of viewing these points on a graph, as we just did, we are viewing a list on a table. With these types of questions, you have two options. You can draw a graph and discover the slope and y-intercept for yourself, or you could use the answer choices to your advantage. Let's try the second option. Since I have specific values for x and y, I can plug them into each answer choice. Let's start with A. Y equals x minus 2. Well, let's plug that in. Negative 2, which I found here, equals 0 minus 2. Negative 2 equals negative 2. Okay, that worked for this first one. Let's try the second one. Y equals x minus 2. We're going to plug in the second number, 1, and they're both 1. So it says 1 equals 1 minus 2. That would be negative 1, actually. It says 1 equals negative 1. They kind of tricked us there by having this first set be correct, but then this second set was wrong. So it is not answer choice A. Let's try answer choice B. Y equals 2x plus 2. Let's fill in that first set. 2 times 0 plus 2 equals negative 2. Well, 2 times 0 is 0 plus 2. So I have negative 2 equals positive 2. That's not going to work either. We can't even get past the first function. Answer choice C is y equals negative 2x plus 5. If we fill that in, negative 2 times 0 is 0 equals negative 2 plus 5. Negative 2 equals 5. No, that's not right either. Answer choice D is y equals 3x plus 4. 3 times 0 is 0. So we have plus 4. And then y is negative 2. So far, none of these have worked. They are not equal to each other. Finally, let's look at E. That must be the answer, but let's double check. Y equals 3x minus 2. 3 times 0 is 0 minus 2 equals negative 2. Perfect. We have negative 2 equals negative 2. So that's correct. We'll put a check mark here. But we need to check one more function just to be sure. Let's try this one. So y equals 3x minus 2. We'll have 3 times 2 minus 2 equals 4. 3 times 2 is 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. So it worked for two functions. That's good enough for me. We'll circle answer choice E and move on to the next question.